Welcome to Queen's Rise to CEO, the podcast for women coaches and crafters on the journey to success. I'm your host, Talina Bacon, your go-to business strategy coach, supporting you on this adventure towards attracting clients and skyrocketing your sales. Picture this podcast as your cozy corner where I spill the tea on all things online business, from kickstarting your coaching or crafting journey to mastering organic marketing, client attraction, social media strategies, and so much more. Plus, I'll be talking about some of my coaching programs designed to help you create a strategy as unique as your business. With over 3 decades of experience, you can bet I've got some juicy stories to tell and insider secrets to share. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button or give me a follow, because when it comes to chatting about business, they say I've got the gift of gab, especially after a cup of coffee. So grab your favorite beverage, a pen, and some paper, and get ready to unleash your inner CEO. Let's do this. Hello, my creative crafters and coaches. How y'all doing today? Hope everything is going well and you're enjoying your holiday season. It's Christmas Eve, and I am sitting here sipping on my favorite, some lemon ginger tea, and I'm thinking about my business. I know everybody's always talking about let's go here and let's go there, and you're eating and preparing meals and all of that, but most of my family lives up north. So me being down south, I have maybe one sister that's living down here. Total, ladies, I have 6 sisters. So growing up in a large family, we shared clothes. So anyway, I love my family. I'm sitting here Christmas Eve and I'm sipping some tea and I'm thinking about my business. And as most of us as coaches and crafters, sometimes we sit and we dwell about our business and what we did and what we didn't do and what we could have done more of. And sometimes we overthink it. But the thing is, you don't have to overthink it because we've done the best we could. Okay, let me take that back. Tell you the truth, I could have done better for my business. I really could have. For my craft business, I took 3 months off of doing nothing. Now, me being a coach and a crafter, as a crafter, you're not allowed time off at all, period. Let alone 3 months. That means I could have been making close to $3,000 to $5,000. In other words, I just gave away money. I decided not to make no money, and that was totally ridiculous, but I did. As a coach, I still have my 2 clients, but of course I've taken some time off for Christmas and New Year's. But as a coach, you want to also prepare, because once the time is up with those clients, you're looking to get your next client, right? So you have to figure out, okay, what would be your strategy? Now, every time you do a strategy doesn't always get you a client. You can get a client through many different ways. So that one strategy that you did one time may not work the second time around. And as a new coach, sometimes it doesn't work out the way you want it to, especially as a new coach, because it's hard to find your clients. And sometimes even in groups, you may not get a client that way. It could be through them following you on YouTube or them following you on Instagram, and that's how you get your client. But it's always a strategy behind it. I'm thinking of my New Year's resolution. I call it my New Year's business resolution. Like, what I'm going to do different for my business. What am I going to do to make it grow, or to take it to the next level, or better yet, to switch it to a new heights, because sometimes the old strategies and the old ways that we did our business changes. And if you notice, social media is changing. With Facebook is changing. A lot of coaches and a lot of digital creators are now creating groups off of Facebook. And that's because they want to be able to control the content and everybody sees it, because on Facebook, everybody doesn't see your content. We know this already. And then you're fighting the algorithm, which we're always losing. And sometimes you have to figure out, okay, is that platform still going to be beneficial for me in the long run? Or should I do something different. I decided that I wanted to try something different. For the 2025, I'm taking my business in another direction. As a coach or a crafter, are you taking your business in another direction, or is it okay the way it is? Can it be better? Was it something that you did that you thought would have worked but didn't work because maybe you didn't put in the time that you wanted to put in? Or maybe life happens. How are you going to step into 2025? What are you going to do differently? Even though we create New Year's resolutions, we should switch that mentality to business resolutions, things we need to do differently. Let's look at our business as a whole. I'm going to give you a few things to think about, okay? When you look at your business, are you creating strategy, meaning a content strategy? And is your content strategy leading to a particular program or membership that you're getting ready to do? Is that your next step? When you booked your first client, what did you do? Do you remember what you did? When you asked them, how did they find you? Did you ask them, how did they find you? Because some of them, they just follow you and read your content on Facebook or whatever, or in a group, and then they decided to get on a call with you. And we're going to talk about those discovery calls. Oh my God. Oh. I am one for not discovery calls. Now, mind you, yes, that's how you get your client through discovery calls. But there's another way that I'm finding out that you can actually do it. I don't know. I'm a toss-up with discovery calls. But that's a whole nother episode. So what are you going to do different for your business? How are you going to approach your business for 2025? Because, of course, it's not too far away, right? Here's what you do. You create content and make that content towards something that's coming up, a mini program or a launch that you're doing for something or a membership, and create your content around that. That would be your first thing to do. Then you write your content. You write your content for at least 2 weeks, 2 weeks of content. Now, those 2 weeks of content is for you to actually get people in the mood. You get people buzzing about what you're getting ready to do. And in the content, you're going to include the important strategies, like things that have helped them business to grow within that content. Because that's what you're going to be also teaching them in one of your courses. You just give them a little tidbit, not much, just a little tad, just a little buzz. Now, once you've done those 2 weeks of talking about it, now you have to have 2 weeks of advertising. Because you're going to talk about it, it's in their ear. See, when you post something on social media, you can post it and, like you said, they may never see it. That's why you have to actually share your content for 2 weeks. And then you can go and advertise for 2 weeks for your launch of your membership. Okay? That's what's going to help your business. What I'm going to do is I'm switching my business completely around. I am turning it upside down, inside out, sideways. And I'm going to share that with you right after this quick message because I need some more tea. Be right back. Hey there, my entrepreneur queens. If you're a coach ready to connect with more clients or a crafter looking to grow your sales, then I've got something exciting to share. I'm thrilled to introduce the Creative Women's Coaching Society. It's a membership created for coaches and crafters who are ready to take their business to the next level. Whether you're just starting out or scaling up, this membership is here to guide you every step of the way. For coaches, you'll find step-by-step training on email marketing, creating funnels that work, booking discovery calls with confidence, exploring Voxer coaching, launching a podcast, and mastering social media strategies to grow your impact. For crafters, there's training on starting your craft business, finding the perfect shows, diving into wholesale opportunities, and connecting with boutiques and gift shops. If you're dreaming of owning a brick and mortar store, I've got you covered. With over 38 years of combined experience in coaching and crafting, I'm packing this membership with everything I've learned to help you build a thriving business. We'll cover proven organic marketing strategies, host workshops, and even dive into a mastermind group to help you get inspired and supported. Doors aren't open yet, but you can join the waitlist today. Head to the link within my show notes to grab your spot. By joining early, you get exclusive bonuses and access to my founders pricing. This is your chance to take that next step, whether it's booking your first or next client or hitting higher craft sales. This membership is for you, and I can't wait to welcome you inside. Sign up for the waitlist below, and let's turn your passion into profit. Now, back to the show. Okay, ladies, I am back. I know I rambled on during that first introduction section, but I do that sometimes. We talked about creating buzz and advertising that's going to help for your launch or membership that's coming up. What I suggest is that you write stuff down. And I'm not talking about on a piece of paper, pen. You can type it up. It's quicker to type it up. I remember I used to write everything down by hand until I realized why. I have a computer. I can type it. Silly things like that. And figure out your strategy for 2025. I'm going to spill the beans on mine, okay? And I know a lot of coaches, they probably don't share their strategy, but I don't mind. I don't mind being transparent because my clients like that I'm true and speak my mind no matter what. Hey, I've never wanted ever for anybody to actually decide they want to work with me and don't know anything about who I am as a person. And that's what we all have to do as a coach. You want people to get to know who you are as a person. So anyway, here's my strategy and what failed. Because sometimes coaches don't tell you the things that failed. You know, some things do fail. They do. We're going to talk about Facebook for a second. Facebook changed so much that I was in a few groups and noticed that those ladies closed the group and they started their own group called School, S-K-O-L, or S-K-O-O-L, something like that. And they opened a group through them, which means everybody moved over to that to get off Facebook because of the algorithms, because half the time no one sees your content. I agree with that totally. And Facebook never responds to anything. You can send them messages and you send them to dead air. And they send you warnings. I think the weirdest warning I've got from Facebook was Facebook said that I didn't follow community rules or something, so they weren't putting my page out to a larger audience. And I'm like, okay, fine. You ain't doing it anyway. I ain't losing no sleep over it. It's not like you helping me. That's my attitude towards it. But I didn't understand. I reached out to them. I knew I did nothing wrong. Maybe I didn't post as much as I was supposed to. Maybe there's discrimination against that, or who knows. But it got me so tired. And I know you must get tired of that. You have to. I decided that I'm going to concentrate on another platform, which is podcasting and, of course, YouTube. Because with YouTube, your content stays there forever until you decide to take it down. And podcasting can reach an audience because, I don't know, I was never much for talking. Yes, I have the gift of gab, but on a microphone? Nah. But now, I like it. It's fun. And you can be yourself. I decided to switch up my strategies on how I want to get clients, on how I want to reach my audience, or how I want them to get to know me. That's my new strategy for 2025. Now, will I still be on Facebook? I still have a following on Facebook, of course, but I'm gearing towards them, hey, listening to a podcast. A lot of ladies that I have within my group, I don't think they listen too much on podcasts. They should, but they really don't. But that's on them. Either way, they have YouTube if they want to actually see any of my videos. So as a coach or a crafter, create your strategy. Create what's going to work for you. Create something that's going to stand out. As I'm sitting here drinking my tea, I have to say that I enjoy and appreciate you all listening to me. Because I can ramble on. And sometimes I know we talk about business and every episodes should be about business. But you know what? I wanted to do something that was behind the scenes and just me being me. But I also wanted to share some pointers to help you along your way for the new year. Oh, I forgot. As crafters, your strategy should be, again, the craft shows. Get a good craft show. Don't get a craft show that just started out, that's only been in business for a year. No, don't do those. They're wasting your time and your money because they haven't gotten to the advertising as far as who to advertise and how much is to advertise. And you don't know how many people and how big of a crowd they're going to get because they're in their first year. They can get maybe 100 people, 200 people at a craft show. That's nothing. So try to get a craft shows that's been in business for some years. Do your research. Don't just jump into a craft show because it's there and it's convenient and it's cheap. Cheap doesn't mean it's always good. But get the strategy together. If you're going to open up a Facebook group for your product, put in some questions that's gearing towards what you're selling as a whole. And just ask those questions like favorite colors, things that people like maybe they can give you a list of things that they like, a few things here and there. But get the right people in your group. Has a new coach? Pick a platform. I would say, as a new coach, you can start a Facebook group, but again, the algorithms and then trying to get people to come to your Facebook group is like pulling teeth because now most of the groups I've come across are on a different level. They're more into a speaking level, podcasting. They're more into doing summits, things of that nature. They're not more into coming into a group and getting nurtured because before it used to be you're in a group, your coach is nurturing you, you get to know them, and then you get to know the programs they offer. And then, of course, you join some of their smaller programs, and then you get into the bigger programs, and then eventually someone works with you. You get a client. That used to be the old way. Now, I must say, it has changed. As a new coach, you do the best you can. You get out there. You do your content. You tell your story. Tell your story. When I first thought about being a coach, actually, truthfully, I didn't think about being a coach. I had a suggestion from a male friend. A man, yes. Can you believe it? I coached him on starting his business, and he suggested, why don't you coach other women how to start their business? And I was like, nah. Oh. And the thing is, it worked. Now, years later, here I am. I would have never thought. I was giving away information for free. It's just off the top of my head. I knew things about what to do to run a business and what you need to do, your content. I knew all this. I didn't really think of charging anything. And then, of course, when I hired my coach, and I love my coach dearly. She is so wonderful. And she helped me realize a lot of things. If you ever decide that you want to hire a coach, do your research and find a good coach. My coach, she's a good one. Of course, she doesn't coach me anymore. But when she did, I appreciated her honesty. She taught me one thing, and I follow this to this day. You can't want to help somebody succeed in their business more than they want to. And that stuck with me. And that means if you're helping a client and you want to help them grow their business and they really don't want to and they're not putting in the effort, then you can't help them because they don't want no help. They figured they're at a level where they don't want to be any further than where they are. So you can't want to help them win the business more than they do. So if you want it more than they do, they're not the right client for you. I remember years ago, there was a lady that I was helping her how to take her content and actually repurpose it where you could have it on Trello. Saves you a lot of time where you can actually have all the information you need and it's right there. And to this day, I can still remember her telling me, I don't want to get bigger than you. I'm like, okay, bigger than me? It wasn't about being who's bigger than what. It was more about me helping them. I figured I was helping them to make things easier. But that's the way they felt. I didn't know how to. All I could say was, I'm just trying to help you. That's all I could possibly say. And she said, no, I'm good. She said, that's okay. I don't need to know this. I'm like, okay. That's when I realized you can't want somebody's businesses to succeed more than they do. If they don't want it, you can't make them. I think I've talked enough. It's like Christmas Eve, and I'm sitting here drinking some tea, wondering, okay, should I open up my wine now or later? Anyway, I want to wish everyone who's listening out there a very Merry, Merry Christmas. Be safe. If you're going out drinking, have a designated driver. If you're spending time with family, hold them close. Keep them near. And I thank you and I appreciate every single one of you listening. And do subscribe because, trust me, I do have that gift of gab and I can talk your ears off. As I end this, I want to say, have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Anyway, Merry Christmas. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.